Hello everyone, my name is Sam.
I'm Austin.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Jacob, and welcome to Geeking Out About It.
This is going to be the last episode of our Star Wars Celebration Week, and we are going to be making something really special. We're going to be doing some blue milk, and also speculating the future of Star Wars. So Jacob, let's start taking it away with making the blue milk, because this part I'm super excited for, especially after I got a taste of the Galaxy's Edge blue milk.
Yeah, so blue milk. There's a lot of recipes out there, and the recipe that we've chosen for today is a lactose-free recipe, so it uses rice milk. So anyone that's lactose intolerant, you can still enjoy and take part in this. This is from someone I found that went to Galaxy's Edge and found a packaging label for blue milk. So they did their best to approximate the actual Disney recipe. There are a lot of blue milk recipes that it's just like, oh yeah, add some blue Kool-Aid to milk. I'm like, no. So we're actually gonna try and go for it.
We're going for it.
Galaxy's Edge blue milk.
Galaxy's Edge
It's
blue
really
milk.
easy to make blue milk if you don't want to be like super specific about it, because you just take milk and put blue food dye in, and that's it.
And of course, this is not the official Disney recipe. They're not releasing that, and we don't have a $2,000 slushing machine to make this. So
Yeah, no.
I stuck the rice milk in the freezer for a few hours to try and cool it off and get it ready.
All right, I'm excited. What's the first step that we need to do in order to make this thing?
Okay, the first step is 10 ounces of rice milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in here.
Yeah. While we're doing this thing, we're going to be talking a little bit about what we are hoping for in the future of Star Wars, especially because there's a lot of stuff coming out recently where we're hearing about some new movies possibly coming up. We got a lot of new content, and the High Republic is something that is just
we sort of
out.
mentioned this offhand during the sequels episode, I believe it was. But we didn't have enough time to talk about it in there. But yeah, the team over at Star Wars, and Disney's version of Star Wars, has come up with a whole new era that they're going to be making content in, which is pretty new for us. Are you moving on to your next step there?
What you got?
So once you put that rice milk in there, we'll do sugar. And Emma's gonna get us 3/4 of a cup of sugar.
Nice. Yeah. So
High
3/4 cup of
Republic.
sugar.
I got
Back to
completely
us.
distracted
Back to us.
by our drink dessert that we're having.
Yeah, I'm looking
over
forward
here.
to this. Dude.
But yeah, the High Republic, whole new era that they're making. It's a little bit kind of like how they did Old Republic, except for this is set 1,000 years before the events of the Clone Wars, I believe, and it's set during the height of the Republic's power. It is the High Republic. The Jedi are extremely strong. They are a successful peacekeeping force at this time, and the only sources of conflict in the whole galaxy appears to be on the edges, the fringes of the galaxy.
where the Republic
so our
doesn't
stories are going to be taking place on the edges of the Republic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be featuring Jedi characters who are a lot more like Texas Rangers than they
sounds-
are soldiers or commanders. And it's going to be cool as
The
heck.
idea of Jedi Texas Rangers just sounds really cool to me. There's something that I really like. I like that. That sounds. I want to see more of that. Honestly.
I know, I'm super excited.
Speaking of sounding cool, I've got the next couple of ingredients
All right,
here.
what do we got, man?
Now, the next couple of ingredients aren't as conventional as rice milk and sugar. I've got some orange blossom water. In the packaging that Disney has, it looks like they're trying to mimic an almost dragon fruit-like flavor. And this
That makes sense. It's just
this
Melurons.
Yeah.
this will add in that tropical taste fairly well. So what I'm gonna do is add about 6 drops of this water, and I don't have an eyedropper, so I'm just gonna take my thumb and
Eyeball it.
eyeball it.
Oh,
Here
good.
we go.
This may or may not go well, folks.
1. Okay. 2, 3, 4,
that's
5,
good.
6. That was 6. That was exactly.
yeah.
I think that was exactly
We're good.
6.
We got lots, and it's some very pungent.
Oh yeah, you can smell it in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wipe it on my
Give me
jeans
a
so I
headache.
smell that tomorrow.
Intense.
You can tell why they only needed 6 drops of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next ingredient's gonna be some coconut oil. In the Galaxy's Edge blue milk, there's some creaminess, there's some oiliness to it. And so we're gonna add about a tablespoon. I'm just gonna take a bar spoon, probably a little less than that, of coconut oil.
I think you got more.
Yeah, tablespoon. I took some off a bit. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in the glass.
Don't worry, he washed his hands. It's fine.
I washed my hands.
Corona time.
And then the other ingredient is also citric acid. Now, citric acid's very bitter. It's what they put on sour candies to make it sour.
Yeah.
So
Presumably
bitter,
that's why
it's
they
sour.
didn't choose to use regular milk as well.
Right, and this would sour the milk. And what you want is it's just a pinch, really just a little bit. It's just to add a little bit of tang into the blue milk because there's a little bit of that tangy bite in there.
There is.
Yeah. Especially the green milk's the real tangy one, but blue milk definitely had at least something.
Yeah, and then normally the recipe I found uses blue spirulina. Due to shipping issues, we weren't able to get it here.
We ordered it.
Yeah, we ordered it, but we weren't able to get it here.
It's
so
somewhere.
I have some blue food.
I'm sure it'll come in a month from now.
Yeah, I have some blue food gel, so I'm just gonna put a little on the end of my immersion blender here, which is what I'm gonna use to mix this up.
A little bit of blue probably will go a long way.
Yeah, and then I'm using an immersion blender. You can use a blender, whatever you have to mix it. It's just this makes it really easy. So I'm just gonna blend it here for a second.
It's alive!
Real exciting stuff here, folks.
Yeah, this is content at its prime, okay? You're on geeking out about it. Look at that.
Yeah, so now when you're finished blending that, the coconut oil should be fairly
Whipped in.
homogenized, but there's still gonna be a little foam on the top. Now, this you could just serve, I guess, but it's supposed to be more of a slushy thing. So we do have a bowl of ice here,
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out.
because we don't have a slushie machine. So I'm just gonna pour it into the bowl here and let it sit for a moment, and kind of stir it around. You could also use, liquid nitrogen if you have that at your disposal, or whatever else works. So why don't you guys talk away for a moment? We're gonna let this freeze up a little with
We're
the bowl of
talking
ice.
more about High Republic. Let's continue.
we're
Let's
excited
continue on that. Yeah. Just in general, things that I'm excited about for the future of Star Wars is Taika Waititi is signed on for a
Yeah, he's got a movie now.
brand new movie.
We don't know what it's
Emma,
going to be, but we know it's going to be a movie.
We know how much you like
I
him,
love Taika Waititi.
so we're really looking forward to that, especially after his work on The Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, he made Thor Ragnarok, which is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
He made the first and last episodes of The Mandalorian.
Fantastic.
He's so good at his job, and I'm very happy he's getting a Star Wars movie,
Yes.
like a proper full-length Star Wars movie at some point. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know he's getting one, and that's going to be cool.
I really hope that they explore a lot of this more in the High Republic, because I think it's a really good setting. Everything that we've heard about it
I'm
has
really
been
hoping.
really interesting.
We don't know that the new movies are going to be set in the High Republic,
That is- yeah,
but
we
it
don't.
very well could be, and it would be pretty sweet if they were.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some Old Republic stuff in there. Maybe we're gonna get a Revan movie. Keanu.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, the memes.
The memes can possibly make someone alive. Now, just going through here, because we didn't really get a chance to do this in any of this
Yeah.
stuff, I want to ask, what's your guys' favorite Star Wars movie?
Didn't we-
Keep stirring. No, we didn't.
We
We
did that in the
didn't.
blog.
Wow.
No, we
I could have
didn't.
sworn we did.
We didn't.
No, we did it in personal conversations, but we haven't told our viewers.
You know, we've
what our
actually been
favorite movies
celebrating
are.
Star Wars a lot more extensively than we're able to do on camera.
Yeah.
Namely, I've been replaying some Swarter stuff. You know, we can't film ourselves watching the movies because that's a really good way to get
Copyright strike.
Yeah.
So I forget sometimes what we did and didn't do. Yeah, my personal favorite has to be Empire Strikes Back, because it's that right blend between it's really good and I have a lot of respect for it. It obviously doesn't have as good of effects as some of the later ones, but it has very good effects, especially for the time.
Yeah.
And I'm able to look past a couple things here and there that are a little bit more, I don't know, obvious, I guess, because its obviousness is mostly a result of age at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm still super happy watching it. My second favorite though is Rogue One,
Yeah.
because
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
the
it's
production
really good.
quality on Rogue One was just so excellent.
What about
Yeah,
you,
they
Jacob?
did a good job. I still think A New Hope is my favorite. It's just it's classic.
For nostalgia reasons.
Yeah, for nostalgia reasons, it's classic.
You weren't even alive.
I
How do you
love
have
it.
that much nostalgia?
It doesn't mean that I can't love it just because I wasn't alive.
I was raised on it. I may as well have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
It's just I could watch that movie over and over, and it has beautiful, graphics for the time, and the characters in it just always make me feel good, and like I can always relate to them, and I always just love that.
Well, we did watch it over and over as kids. I'm sorry for the small
Yeah.
tangent, but we had VHS copies of the original trilogy because
Yeah.
we are actually old enough to have had VHS for our primary source of entertainment for a little while, and we wore out the Empire Strikes Back copy on VHS. We broke the tape.
Yeah.
We watched it so many times it broke.
And then one of the few ones that remained that we were left to watch was The Phantom Menace over
Yeah,
and
that
over
was the
and
one
over
that
and
wasn't
over
broken.
and over and over.
You can imagine why it wasn't broken, but because
Yeah.
it was newer. But
It's
Because it's newer.
actually, yeah, that is
That's
the
no
reason.
sorry, I had to mention that tangent because
No,
you know,
yeah.
to mention how much we like Star Wars, we broke the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my favorite Star Wars movie is probably Rogue One. Like Empire, I love Empire Strikes Back. Not gonna lie. But like, okay, I'll have to go through an elaboration of what I'm talking about because Rogue One did a really good job of like everything, like the story beats and all that kind of stuff. It stepped away from what was like the traditional Star Wars stuff, and it made it really cool, like and dark, and it was about characters that in the end all died, which I think's really neat.
But guts to do that.
Like, I really love Empire, and I really love Return of the Jedi, like, more now. I used to hate Return of the Jedi,
Oh, yeah,
and
you
Austin
hated
knows
it.
exactly why. I did not like the Ewoks.
Yeah,
and
despite being the proper age to like Ewoks,
Yeah.
he still hated Ewoks.
the reason I didn't like Ewoks is, like, now I'm okay with Ewoks, but I didn't like Ewoks back then because I looked at them as, like, ridiculous, because how could a bunch of teddy bears defeat the Empire and our best garrison?
Yeah,
Oh,
a legion of our
or-
finest troops.
Yeah, my
don't understand that
butt.
one.
Like, I was sitting there going like, dude, if I was one of those stormtroopers, you see a teddy bear jump down and be like, pew! It's dead.
I'm really glad I have this armor that's not stick proof.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
rock proof, I guess. Like, I'm just
You gotta
looking at it.
redesign your armor. If it doesn't stop twigs flying at you, you need to get new armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
that's why I didn't like Ewoks at first. But then when Battlefront 2 started having the Ewok hunt
Yeah,
at
Ewok
night
hunt.
mode, I started to get patched a little bit because I was sitting there going like, okay, theoretically, if it was nighttime and there was only about 20 stormtroopers and there was a bunch of Ewoks that were raining down on them and they have night vision and they can see you and they know where you are because they've surveyed this area and they're really familiar with it, then they can win, and that's how the Ewoks
You
can
bring
kill
up
you.
Ewok hunt. That brings up a thing I didn't get to talk about when we were doing the video games episode. Right, Battlefront 2. You have to realize the people who make Battlefront 2 know their stuff. Because A, their models are just excellent, but B, the Ewoks have Wisties as an attack.
Yeah.
The fact that they have Wisties, those only appeared in Ewok independent entertainment. So
Remember when
you
we
had
said Ewok Adventures?
yeah, the Ewok Adventures and the Caravan of Courage, the Battle for Endor.
Yeah.
Those are the only times it could possibly have been mentioned. I don't even know if it is mentioned in those two specifically. The live action ones been done in the 80s.
Or
But
Davis side
I
projects.
know the Wisties were mentioned in the Ewok Adventures cartoon.
Yes, they were.
Which was it's this tiny little cartoon that was made in it's the early 2000s. It was there when we had that same 2003 Clone Wars. It was right around the same
Might
time.
have been a little before. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was right around the same
There,
time.
there's going to be a timestamp on there of when
Yeah.
it came out.
Asterisk this
So
year.
Yeah, that
before we
year.
move too far though, Emma, I want to hear your favorite movie.
She Empire.
Oh, Empire?
Yeah, she agreed
Okay.
with Austin. Yeah.
Oh, I was busy stirring.
Jacob just he wasn't paying attention. We
Yeah, I know.
reiterate that hashtag let Emma speak movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Come on, Jake.
So
Flashback to the retro games episode.
Yeah.
Not about it.
Emma, will you grab the ice, please? So
it
now
was Lord of the Rings.
No, you're right. It was Lord of the Rings.
that was Lord of the
Cooking
Rings.
segment.
Yeah,
Hey,
The
cooking
meme was
segment.
during.
yeah, I know.
The meme went on through retro.
Yeah. The meme went on for a while. So with blue milk, if you don't have a slushy machine and you're using a bowl, it could take hours for it to really firm up. So it's got a little bit more thickness to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and serve it up so we can try it.
Okay, let's try it.
It's not gonna be perfect, but we can definitely
Put less ice in mine, please.
try it out.
Yeah, that's like twice as much ice as we needed. Yeah, perfect. That's great.
Really
good. Fun.
Hey. All right, let's try this
Serve it
guy.
up, serve it up.
Alrighty. Let's see. I'm gonna use this
Yeah, use that guy.
this scooper here.
Give me some of that slurry.
It's a
some of
little
that
thicker.
slush.
It's not super thick. It's not like in Galaxy's Edge where it's actually like a slushy. But I think this will suffice for now. We're gonna try this again.
We're
Probably.
gonna find out how it is. Give you an honest reaction if he messed it up or not.
Yeah, we'll all try it
Yeah.
at the same time. Everyone wait to try it until we can all have it in there.
We should all just do a comical spit take. No, I don't want to ruin the carpet.
Yeah, let's not ruin the carpet in here.
All right.
Oh, do you want this one?
Well, that one has less ice. and
Oh, okay.
That's why I picked
All
it.
right, toast it.
Cheers.
Okay. To blue milk and to not drinking weird goat thing from
to
Luke
Star Wars.
Skywalker's
Yeah.
Ankh 2. All right, ready?
All right. That's not bad. That's actually really close.
I think it's a little too sweet. I think it needs to be a slushy, but that's pretty close.
That's pretty close, actually.
That's actually
not bad.
It tastes fairly similar to
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge. Yeah.
I've never been to Galaxy's Edge, so this is pretty good.
We'll change that. Don't worry.
We'll get to
You
it.
don't have to
Yeah.
worry about her. We got her.
We got it.
Don't worry about it.
I think it could probably use a pinch more citric acid for a little bit more bite.
I had slightly too much orange.
Yeah, it was probably a little much orange. I'm just gonna dump this whole thing in there.
Not a real bad experiment though.
Not a
I will
bad
say.
first try for blue milk, eh?
Well, that does bring us to the end of our Star Wars Celebration week. We hope you've enjoyed this week of constant content coming out of us. We're gonna take a quick break and get back to our regular content next week.
Yeah.
I think that's all of it from us here. So,
Thank you for celebrating with us, and we will see you guys next time.
cheers.